I
There you
hate you.
go. So apparently we're live now, so
Okay, what's up, guys? You're here for the Future Fighters live stream. And today we'll be talking Danger World with our specialist for Danger World, Mr. Brian Ashbrook.
Welcome to the danger zone.
Please don't do that again.
Next up we have the man himself, Zach Zag.
what's up? What's up, future fighters?
Last but not least, our hateful Kazarian player, Mr. Alexander Masu.
Brave machine player, thank you very much.
You say Brave Machine and all I hear is Kazarian. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm sorry. I am running around with my ultimate card burn.
You are.
Huh?
So, Brian, kick us off.
Yes, Mr. Didn't.
Alright.
So all we see is Iblis.
Alright, look here. Iblis. I don't know why they made Iblis. Iblis is so undercosted for the world. Alright. So,
Iblis is a very dangerous card.
shut up, you. Since I don't think I'm gonna have time to do both, shut up, you. To do both Dual Dragons and Armor Knights, I'm splitting them. It'll do Dual Dragons at some point down the line. We're doing Armor Knights right now.
Sounds like a dual profile.
Look here, stop your puns.
Or the lack of a dual profile.
Alright, well, Danger World right now is in kind of a weird spot, because they don't really have any necessarily bad matchups, but they don't have any very good matchups either.
Would you say it's a dangerous spot?
Oh my god. See what I have to deal with? So, with all the stuff they have out right now, you have the Armor Reuse, which is obviously an amazing card. You obviously run 4 of it. That way you can run as minimal monsters as possible, but then you can still use Armor Reuse to get back any of the monsters you've already seen in the game. What we were talking about earlier, calling Iblis over Iblis over Iblis every turn. Everyone hates Iblis.
Yeah, I've ran into that problem at Springfest Nationals. It was so annoying. I literally lost because he opened up, I think, like 2 armories when we fought for a 3rd and 4th. I think I was playing Robert Mansour, and I bricked badly. So that's a very bad position to be in, like against Danger World, if they open up with a ton of Iblis or armories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say instead of the danger zone, it's the Iblis zone.
You just call it Iblis. Iblis wins games by himself. And his
Okay.
other effects that go off when you have things in the soul is it's nice, but it never realistically gets off. Maybe the penetrate every once in a while.
That penetrate is pretty busted in and of itself, though, for people that are still running the old Ace engine.
I'm gonna get to that. I don't like the aces. The aces have too low power, and just to be able to get them into the soul, you have to run Little Drake and the Impact. That's like 6 to 8 spots dedicated to just throwing things into your weapon.
Why is that
And like
bad?
the effects, because why stack everything on one item when you can just not care if your opponent blows up your item and just equip another one?
Because my item has soul guard?
Yeah, well, your item can have Soul Guard, mine can't be destroyed or bounced. I don't even care. So, the aces, they're not very good. All of them are mostly 2 crit, so that's okay, but they have really low power. Like Eagle and Tiger both have 3k power, so that's not hitting over anything. Then we have Brave Machines. That 5k defense is annoying.
So I guess they're not your
You don't-
whole.
Alright, but the ace that is like the best that trumps all of them is Ogre Ace, and it's not even because of his ability. It's just because he's a 5/3 for 1 gauge. Him being an actually good statted size 1 with 3 crit helps the deck OTK a lot faster especially since Gargoyle was some trash.
So what's that? Archangel, Ogre, and 4 crit Cradle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's 11.
you just win. You
Yep,
don't even
killing
you
you even with a
just
buddy
equip
block.
Rick do and you just win. You just
Yep.
yeah, Rick do 10.
Jeez.
Danger to Armor Knights have some pretty crappy size 2s though. The only really good ones are Cerberus, Archangel, and not even Medusa. No, not Medusa's bad. Only Archangel and Cerberus. Cerberus you don't really run in the main anymore because it's a 1-for-1 destruction that can be stopped, so it's not the best thing in the world. But Archangel, a free size 2 with double attack. I don't know why Bushy decided they wanted to give Danger World a no call cost size 2 with double attack and 2 crit.
Because
But
it's
Because of Kaiserion.
alright, it's got a 2/2/4. That's pretty bad stats for a size 2. Oh, just put another card into its soul. So it's now a 5/2/4 with Soul Guard.
Mm, that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's Archangel's really the only good Armor Knight size 2. Most of them are really trash.
what about Cerberus?
Which Cerberus?
Cerberus 10,000.
We don't have that, and I still wouldn't run it. You don't need the clear power is not very good in a size 2. You want to deal damage with the size 2s and clears with the size 1s.
That's what the 3 crit is for.
No.
I guess I should stop.
You probably should.
Nah.
Like Armor Knights with the only Archangel being their only good size 2, you have to rely on either the Dual Dragons Rahal, which is the 6/5 mover, which is really good. Just a free 6/5 mover. Oh no, what in a world that's just based on items. The other option is to do the Omni Lords. You have the 5th Omni Lord Drum. Your opponent either has to swing at the drum or swing at you. Either way, it's a win-win. You're either blowing up their monsters, which Danger World normally doesn't have access to, or they're attacking drum twice. Now the other one, the one that's coming out in the next set, Crimson Omni Drum. The 6/6 costs 2 gauge, gets top deck soul. You can pay a life and redirect the attack to it. That combos very well with Battle Spirit Unite, being able to pump that thing to like 12 defense and just laugh as your opponent attacks into it.
Can you hear them? The drums of war.
Now, the other really good spell Danger World has is Battle Spirit Unite. Counter, choose a monster on your field. It gets power or defense equal to the power of your weapon. Buffing up that Rahal to 11 or 12k defense, and then you're shutting down your opponent an entire turn of attacks, because not many decks can get over 11 or 12k very easily.
Wait until the new Talica comes out. I have a story for you.
Or what's really dirty, do it to Naga.
Yes, Naga. Naga, also one of the new cards from the last extra booster. 2/1/2 size 0. This card single-handedly made the Kaiserion matchup almost an auto win.
Haven't done anything. It's still at 12.
So you pay a gauge to counter, call it from your hand, and choose an item on your opponent's field. You have a minus 3k power, defense, and minus 2 crit until the end of your turn. So that Kaiserion that had 5k defense now still only has 2 defense, and Naga can hit over it. It's also really funny to countercall Naga to the center and Battle Spirit Unite it and have it become a 2/1/7 for the turn.
You're not nice.
I am not a nice person. I never claimed to be. Now, Danger World before had a whole bunch of problems with defense, but now with Now they have two different shields: the Shredding Battle Wall, which is the Green Dragon shield, and then their standard Battle Aura Circle Null. As long as you run 4 of each of those, you should be really fine with the shield on the shields.
Plus your mover.
Yep, the movers. Movers plus the new drums. Like, you either run the movers or you run the drums. The drums are really nice because they're both 3, or well, one of them's 3 crit. But the other one has Soul Guard, and it can redirect attacks.
Which one is that? Are you talking about Demon Goal?
Oh, he's talking
The
about
Crimson Drum. Yeah,
Crimson-
Crimson Drum.
Crimson Drum.
Yeah, the Crimson Omnilord Drum.
Oh, there's a Crimson Omnilord?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a drum for everything.
Yeah, there's so many Omni drums.
Is it out yet?
No, it comes out in the extra booster. Buddy
Oh,
All-Stars. Let's see. Another thing that most people don't really run is Armor Knight Salamander. Armor Knight Salamander is just a 6/2/2 vanilla. 6k is a really relevant number right now, and it punches through a lot of the walls, except for most of the size 3 decks, because they have 7 defense, but then Iblis just eats them. Except for AK defense. Armor Knights don't like AK defense. They can't hit over those very easily.
Sounds like Purgatory Nights.
Yeah,
Struggle
except we
with.
can get Penetrate. You have no way to get Penetrate.
Yeah, you could just keep link attacking with your weapon over and over again.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I hate to do this, but I need to drop off the call. I've got to go do some things with fixing my house. You're lucky, Brian. You get a pun-free rest of the call.
Thank
Unless
you.
the guys want to pick up the slack with me.
Please don't.
You guys can pick up the slack here. I'm not the only one with puns.
Sure.
Oh God.
I'm good.
Bye.
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 Alright, see you.
Anyway.
But, Brian, how is your Omni Dragon matchup now?
Well, for against the Omnilords, most of the time, as long as you give your Archangel Soul Guard, you can just keep punching them. And the only thing you really worry about is the one that can destroy items, because that can destroy it on when you're attacking. But other than that, you can deal as much damage as you could just link for game every turn, very easily.
Yeah, I noticed that's the easiest way to get over like 5th Omnis is just making sure you have the Soul Guard options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember before you had talked a lot about Armor Knight Asmodai in the 5th Omni matchup.
Yes. Asmodai, because it pops both the left and the right, it pops whatever other size one they had, which most of the time is either Doble, the one that gives them a gauge, or the one that they pay gauge and destroy an item. So it blows that one up, and then if they have Drum on the other side, it pops out a Soul of Drum, and then you can swing over Drum with pretty much anything.
I guess some of the difficult part of, Armor Knight Asmodai is wanting to play it or when to play it, because,
Yeah.
if you have like a full Soul Iblis, you're not gonna give that up.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, when you play Danger World, you have to know when to go for game. Because you can't just sit on an Iblis and expect to win every time. You have to know when to sack that Iblis to play an Archangel over it, and then call Ogre and just go for game.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But do you main deck Asmodai or do you side it?
I side it, because it's not every deck runs things on the sides, like your deeps. You almost never call anything except for size zeros, and I don't really care for your size zeros. They do nothing to me. They got 1 crit.
Yeah. That's how I feel about them too.
The only thing I'm thinking though is that I'm wondering if you really miss Little Drake in the deck, because things like 5th Omnis or that extra like boost of offense with having an additional soul in the weapon just to turn quicker, or getting Iblis with the extra soul, or I'm sure there's some benefits to still running a card like Little Drake in the deck.
Well, the problem with running Little Drake is that also running Little Drake forces you to run the aces, and the aces, while their effects are really powerful, they are pretty trash monsters. So when you're forced to call them, and your opponent picks them off, yeah, you can just pitch a card and put them into the soul, but discard costs are really heavy for Danger World since right now their draw power sucks. The only draw power they have is Survival Chance, and that's a life break 5. And if you reach 5 life, you're probably already dead from an impact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most cases.
especially against Fifth Omni.
Yeah.
Alright, so right now we have Iblis is just an amazingly undercosted card where he's just a 7/2/5 double attacker for 1 gauge for some reason. Not including
Yeah.
like anything difficult like Soul from the Drop or
Nope, just top deck
Just-
soul.
right off the top, just easy. And like Armor Knight as Modai is a pretty good option for our current meta since you might be running into some of the I don't want to say high octane decks like Dungeon World or Fifth Omnis
It's an
What?
instant side.
where it's really easy just to play something like that. The delicacy I guess would be whether or not you get rid of your creatures that have been touched because like you, your opponent does not give a shit about your creatures, so they're just going straight at your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to top all that off, you got the super clutch card that's free to pick up any Armor Knight from your drop zone.
Yeah, that I'm honestly surprised no other world has anything like it. Every other world has something that either costs a life, costs a gauge. Ours is just free.
Yeah.
No restrictions on size.
Right. That's a later day for Dual Dragon.
That's just
Have I said anything about the weapons yet?
Nope, you just kind of alluded to the fact that Danger World's amazing with weapons, but not really.
Oh, I should probably go over the weapons.
Probably seeing as they're probably the most important part of the world.
So right now there's 3 good weapons for Danger World. You have Cradle, which if you haven't heard of Cradle, it's a 5/1 free to equip. You can act, pay a gauge, put a weapon from your hand or drop into its soul, and it gets the crit of all the items in its soul. So it can easily get to 4 crit plus on turn 1. And then if you have 3 or more cards in the soul, it gets Penetrate.
How do you not know how to turn on a Wii?
Alright.
Alright.
Um,
Sounds being difficult because he doesn't know how technology works.
Sean is special.
You could have pushed a button.
Star Dragon World is bad.
Star Dragon World is bad.
I think it's just Sean that's bad.
Like so, all right. I'm sorry we interrupted your weapon talk, but
And then the other 2 are the 100 Demon Spear. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name because I don't know how. The 5/2, it can't attack the left or the right, but that's not really a problem. And then when it destroys a monster or deals damage, you top gauge 1. Now normally Danger World doesn't need any gauge excel, but with all the new stuff, well not really all the new stuff, the 1 new generic card they're getting in the extra booster, you actually need to gauge excel now. And
What
you really
generic
only need
card?
1. The draw card.
What's the draw card?
I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's pay gauge and a life to draw a card, and if you have an item equipped, draw another one.
Oh shit! Is it 100 demons too, or?
We have the effect, but we don't have the actual art yet.
Okay,
It was one of the Reddit Buddy spoilers.
so you can't really tell.
Yeah, only have is the name and the effect.
Okay. I mean, the life cost thing sounds kind of 100 demons-y.
Maybe. I really hope not. They have too much draw power already.
Yeah, well, I love it.
And then the last weapon is the 6/3 Explosive Axe. Costs 1 gauge to equip, and you can't call monsters to the center. I don't know why having no monsters in the center is a very hard restriction, but it apparently warrants like an extra crit because reasons. But you almost never actually call anything to the center. The only thing you call to the center is Iblis and Naga. And both can be called to the side just fine, and both do their jobs.
Okay.
So how many weapons are you playing in normal Danger World then? Because before it was like 8, but you had alluded to
Yeah.
the fact that you don't care if they blow up your weapon.
Like before the extra booster where we got Iblis, most of the time it was 7 to 8 weapons because you wanted to see the weapon, but you didn't want them to clog your hand. But then after Cradle came out, you wanted to see all of these extra weapons to put into its soul. Most people still like running 8 weapons. I like 10. 10 is a great number because since a fifth of your deck is a weapon, you have a very high chance of drawing it first turn of any one of the weapons. And then if you're on Cradle, there's a very, very high chance that you're going to see another weapon to put into its soul to just keep getting it bigger and bigger and bigger. And when
So
they
I got a question actually from the live stream that might be relevant. So there's a set spell that prevents you and your opponent from calling stuff to the center. How do you like this in Danger World right now?
Right now, it's not very good because there's a lot of size 3 heavy decks.
Yeah.
It was a good side before when like Continental World was really good and things that played smaller monsters in the center, but against size 3 heavy decks, it does nothing.
Well, what if you catch them off before they're size 3?
I mean, most decks either run a whole size 3 decks or only run like 3, but even then, most of them don't call anything to the center. Like, most Dragon World decks, they don't call anything but the size 3s to the center. The only thing I can think of that calls size 2 or less to the center is Star Dragon World.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Plus,
that
they
makes
can,
a lot of sense.
stars can get around it anyway with the mover. The mover
Yeah.
cross 9, so it's not a big deal for them. And I feel like sometimes it's weird with the set spells that provide a detriment to you that
Well, I
your
mean,
opponent can start to make use of. Because before, I guess when that set spell was first introduced, I think people were still using like the Katana World Bridge and all those burn dudes, right?
yeah.
So at the time, you were seeing a lot of people just say, "All right, thanks for making it so you can't play shit in the center now."
Yeah, and then Ancient World came out with a better version of it. It's not a bad card, but the meta we're in right now, it just doesn't do anything. Let's see
Fair
here.
enough.
I was gonna say it's nowhere near like the presence of the ancient world set spell now. I think it's for raging spirits, where no monsters can be played in the center, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Like, since you still want to call monsters to the center, that's why Rikdu's restriction is it's manageable, but you don't really want to equip Rikdu unless you're going for game with the 3 crit, because being able to just call Iblis to the center while you have one of the other 2 weapons out, and then being able to Battle Spirit Unite it up to 10k defense with counterattack is really good. Also, being able to call Naga to the center and forcing your opponent to also attack Naga after their weapon is now 0 crit.
That's true. Plus, the nice thing about Cradle is that you can play your 3 crit weapon that doesn't allow you to play stuff that you want, and then just play over it because it's so easy to get back.
Yeah, you just pay over it, pay a gauge, and now you have a 4 crit weapon.
So never hold back playing your weapon.
Yeah. If you can go for game, go for game. You almost never want to try to drag the game out longer than you have to. Because
Yeah.
when you do that, you will almost always lose the resource game. Because
They
even
don't
with
do well
the
with that game.
even with the new draw card, the draw card helps, but really all it does is give you more defensive cards so that way you can live that extra turn just to kill them. Except when they burn Nova.
Oh yeah, then you
And then you
rip
just
and hope you
cry.
have one shield to keep you out from dying.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I wish this deck had enough gauge to play burn over, but it doesn't.
It was tough for me to fit into Dungeon World.
Like, I could if I tried,
Yeah,
but
I mean, you just changed the the mechanic of the deck, though. I mean, playing extra gauge when you don't really even need it.
Yeah.
Especially when the only thing you're using gauge for is Iblis and
Iblis,
Hysteria.
the items, and
That's it.
then and then Ogre, the other 3 crit. You're
Yeah.
only paying gauge for like 3 crits and up. You just
Okay.
continuously try to go for game every turn you can.
Yeah, well, I feel like Danger World itself, it's not really that too complex of a deck because you sit on a weapon, and I mean you have the option to make the weapon invulnerable through Eagle or just through Eagle.
Yeah.
Well, you have the counter spell too that prevents an
Yeah,
item
Demon Slay Barrier.
or creature from being destroyed, right?
Yeah, it protects anything that would be destroyed, so even the set spells.
The set spells that you probably don't play.
Yeah, all of the set spells are really meh. I really wish Armor Knight Formation did something more than just give a slight stat boost. It's just giving +1/+1 doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, I guess that's the interesting point. Is we got someone asking whether or not Starved Yamigeto is a good card to play in this, and my first gut reaction is not really, just because you don't need the gauge.
In Armor Knights, no. It's a pretty terrible card in Armor Knights. In Dual Dragons, however, it's pretty good. Because you can use it and then you call Demigodal. If Demigodal dies through Demon Slay Barrier, or is attacked through Demon Slay Barrier and lives, you will still get the gauge.
Yep.
So, as Demigodal dies, you've probably already gotten 2 gauge off of it. So, as long as you have continuous waves of your monsters dying, you should be fine.
Yeah, Starved Yamigeto is one of
And
my
they-
favorite set spells for 100 demons, though. That thing is amazing.
Yeah, the problem is Danger World doesn't have the ability to keep monsters on board for that to be really effective.
Yeah, it doesn't have that swarm effect or real good use like Cositis or something.
No. Like, the thing when you're playing Danger World is you have to realize that no matter what your opponent has, you will almost always have enough damage to kill them. So even if they shield once, you can just go for their monsters and know you can kill them next turn. Like, the great part is that you can easily put TAM damage on, and if they shield 1, you can just hit them once, put them down to 8, and then attack their monsters, and they still have to like hoard shields in their hand because they know that you can kill them at any life at any time, just
I guess
because Danger World has such high damaging monsters.
that's a good lead-in for the one card. Was it your negate spell?
Shredding Battle Wall, or
Was it
which
Demon? The one you pay a life and pay 2 gauge for.
Fang Dragon Declaration.
That's the one.
Yeah, I really like that card, and I really wish it was better. Like, it's pay gauge in a life when a single card is attacking. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, it's still
heavy
something.
cost. Yeah, being able to end the game when you want to is really nice, but there's so many ways that people can stop attacks that's not through a spell.
Or spells that
So,
can't
like,
be nulled now. Like
yeah, like
Omni's
it's
Guild.
especially for such that high for 2 gauge in a life, you should be able to link attack. Because you can't, the value of the card just is shot.
Hmm.
Wait, do you still play it at all in your current deck or no?
No, I don't play it currently. I focus mostly on the defensive spells. How I play Armor Knights is I just take the aggressiveness of the deck and then just build defense into it. It seems to work really well because then I extend the survivability of the deck by at least 2 turns, which is able to a shitload more damage than my opponent can deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably why the deck itself seems so simple to me, is because you can get 2 different cards on the board and then just protect the crap out of them.
And then just go for game every turn
Or
with
pick them back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we're still just waiting for the weapon searcher for Danger World for.
Honestly, I don't know if I'd use the weapon searcher. It would have to be another like a size 2 monster that works like
Or
the
size 0.
Olympus. I'd rather have something with a better stat.
Yeah.
Like if it's a size 0, the size 0 would probably be like a 1. It would probably be like a 111 or 211 or 212, and have really bad stats.
Or it could just be the Omni Lord.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably going to be the Omni Lord, but
That way everybody can
like
have a weapon searcher.
Could you
the thing
imagine
is,
that?
That'd be nice.
yeah, weapon searchers are nice.
I
But
hope
like
it's a weapon
the reason
searcher, not item searcher. No reason to make
yeah,
Kazurion or superheroes
well,
any more broken.
it doesn't count as being an item until you actually equip it.
Okay.
So you
Well,
couldn't add any of the transform or ride targets.
Yeah. But you'd still be able to search for like stupid Dungeon World or useful 100
Yeah.
minions
oh yeah,
or
or generic weapons. Like there's a weapon where you can like check the top card of your deck or something.
Oh yeah,
what?
Yeah.
I don't think that I would use the weapon searcher because that would require me cutting down on weapons, and I'd rather have more weapons than a monster that searches out the weapons.
Really? I kind of see weapons in this game as dead draws once you already have a weapon equipped.
Well, I guess for
Especially
Cradle.
every world except Danger, maybe.
Every world except for Danger World because Cradle's a card. All of your dead weapons, you can now pay a gauge, and it's essentially discarding it to giving your item an extra 2 crit.
That's part of the benefit of running cards like Ogre and Iblis, because if your opening hand includes 2 weapons, you charge and draw a weapon and use one of those 2 cards to get that weapon in the drop.
The great thing about the new draw spell, the one that you pay a gauge and a life to draw 2 if you have an item equipped, is when you charge like Rikdu and then you play Cradle and then you play the draw spell, since you pay the Rikdu, and then you can put the Rikdu into Cradle first turn and swing for 4. Before you could do that without overextending, but now you can do it really consistently, and being able to swing for 4 is pretty game changing,
yeah, it makes a
especially
big
if they don't
difference.
open with a shield. Starting the game at safe is a pretty big deal.
So what other cards have we hit that are kind of like keys to Armor Knight? So we have Archangel, Iblis as solid creatures, Ral or whatever. Even though he's not an Armor Knight,
Oh,
you still run him in
yeah.
Armor Knights.
I really wish that we had an Armor Knight version of him. I would love to just be able to armor reuse him back.
No, please. So annoying. Make him coffee.
But
Please, I would.
because I saw a lot of your online matches. Do you still run double guillotine?
No, Naga does its job infinitely better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because using Naga to be able to call it, you're not destroying their item and you're not dealing the damage off of the guillotine, but because you're calling it, it can act as a double shield, because if you call it to the center, you're reducing the crit of the item and they still have to swing at it. So it's still a
Okay.
body they have to swing at, and then if they swing at it with something with 2k defense and like 5 attack, you can Battle Spirit Unite it up to 7 defense and then just counterattack it.
Yes.
And then next turn you just shove it into Archangel's Soul and just go ham.
All makes sense. That's one thing I really like about Buddy Fight. It's like I really like every world. I just don't play everything because I don't like the art of a lot of stuff. Like Danger World, I totally would be a Danger World player if it wasn't for the art. Just don't like it.
I like the art. I like the idea of them having like a war and they're just fighting amongst themselves with giant missiles and drills and machine guns.
Yeah, so
Let's see. Have I gone over everything?
it feels like it,
I think I
because
have.
I mean,
for Armor
we
Knight,
don't use what's his
Yeah.
face
Well-
even anymore. He's an old
Use
school.
what?
Was it the size 3 demon, the like 938 or something?
Oh, Demon, Armor Knight Demon. Yeah, he's a 938. Um, some people say that Demon is better than Iblis. No,
No, not
Demon will
even.
never be on equal terms of Iblis. First off, yes, he has 3 crit. Yes, he can deal 6 damage in a turn. But size 3 counter removal is actually more common than it ever was.
Mhm.
Size
So
3 counter removal.
if,
So
if he gets blown up,
the only thing I can think of is like
Drum,
drum. That's it.
Drum, I leave the rest to you.
Mm,
Like the Kaiserion, the Omni Drum. Let's see, anything with counter attack.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Like
Raging Spirits.
yeah, like a 938. It's not terrible, but you have to pay a 2 gauge and sack a monster. The deck doesn't have very much advantage, so having to sack a monster to call it, it's not the greatest thing in the world. When you can just call Iblis for 4 damage, but it also has Soul Guard, so it has that survivability.
Mhm. Well, I would say it's a good card, but it's not good for this format. That's how I'd say it. Because everything is pretty much
Mm,
like closed center unless you're playing Dungeon, Omnis, or Hero World.
Well, even if we were in an open center meta, I'd rather have Iblis because it has the utility of being able to be called to the center for really easy and cheap cost and being able to wall when you don't draw those weapons.
Yeah. Or demon's just too expensive now.
Yeah. Like if Demon got a different form where it got Soul Guard or didn't have to pop a monster, like popping the monster is the real hard part because you don't actually get any advantage off of it until it swings. And one of the attacks, you were probably better off just calling Iblis
And
and just swinging for
meanwhile,
the 2.
in Buddy Fight All Stars, we'll get a super deformed demon, and then everybody will play demon because he'll have Soul Guard.
Are they only coming out with
I
dragons though, and that's it?
No, it's
no.
everything because they released a super
In All Stars
deformed
they have everything.
what is it, Schwartz
Schwartz.
the other night.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that. That's funny.
Like
yeah.
there's we still haven't had any danger reveals other than that draw card and the new dual dragon,
Pretty good
Primordial
though.
Demigodal.
Yeah.
You
Huh?
see the draw card, you're like, finally.
Yes, the draw card is a lifesaver.
Yeah.
And it's because if you just run 4 shredding battle walls, it's equipped. So you're gaining 4 life. So it's not the worst thing ever. You're probably going to be paying more life now, but it's not really that big of a deal because
Okay.
your opponent should be dead before
So you
they
Yeah.
can
don't play
impact you.
Resurrection at all anymore?
I feel life gain is too slow. Since you life gain on your turn and not on
No.
your opponent's turn, they can just impact you, and if you have the resurrection in your hand, it does nothing because they dropped you to that 5 life. If you drop down to 5 life, almost not every deck, but most decks can impact you when you're at 5 and just instant kill you. And since we don't have any Chillax clones or anything to reduce it, like we have Phoenix Wall, but Phoenix Wall won't really help because most of them can't be reduced anyway.
Hmm.
That's the thing I hate a
So
lot. So they can be negated now, but none of them can be reduced.
Yeah.
yeah, like if we got like a Black Dragon Shield clone or something along those lines, it would be really easy to just not care about dropping your life to 5, the life break, and then just shoving all the aces into soul. But dropping down to that 5 life break is really dangerous now.
It's always been dangerous, especially since 5 damage Punisher came out.
Yeah, Ron Slash.
Well, the thing with that one, Roaring Slash costed 5 gauge, so you would know when your opponent could cast it.
Yeah.
Because 5 gauge isn't something that you just happen to have.
Yeah.
Like you actually have to gauge excel into it. Like another thing that I wish Danger World would get is a Solomon Shield clone instead of having to use Battle War Circle. So and be able to actually shield.
Mm.
Yeah. Alright, so I know you say that they don't have a lot of good or bad matchups, but to me, Danger World's like super annoying. They're pretty powerful. I mean, they can drop
They're
rush
annoying.
pretty quick.
It's
They
a
could,
very versatile deck.
especially, I mean,
Continue.
yeah, well, continue, but you have 8 shields now, which is super health. I mean, that's the only reason why you played like
Yeah.
Phoenix Walls before, or maybe
Yeah.
even the good old Wall Lizard.
I loved that card back in the day.
But I mean, now
Before
I feel
counter
like
removal was so big.
they can compete with the best of the rush decks just because they don't have the sheer number of attacks, maybe, but it doesn't mean that your 4 or your 4 crits not doing anything.
The thing with Armor Knights is that they can both wall and they can rush. So they have like the two best mechanics, and they just shove them into one deck. So it's a very versatile deck, but if you run into something that walls better than you or rushes better than you, you have a bad time.
Well, fortunately, though, at least Iblis is pretty good at taking down walls itself.
Yeah. Like, sometimes it makes me want to run Armor Knight formation just to bump Iblis up to that 8k power, but I don't even know if that's worth it.
Does it give power and defense, or just power?
Yeah, it's +1/+1.
Oh, okay.
So it's not bad, but it costs a gauge to set.
Yeah, whatever.
I just don't know where I would find root for it.
Yeah. 51.
Already going to be running 51 because of Count Dawn.
52. Alright, so with
The
Danger
only
World,
thing,
go on. What was
yeah,
I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say,
say if Armor Reuse didn't specify monster,
well,
being able to pick up, like, if they make an Armor Knight weapon and this didn't specify monster, that would have been all they needed to do.
but they didn't.
Sad boys.
Yeah, so you can't get. So, alright. Danger World Armor Knights. We got the dumb size 3 Iblis, undercosted, super strong.
Yeah.
We got weapons. That's basically Armor Knights, and it's how you support the rest of the deck from there. Where you might use
Yeah.
Naga because he's a solid size 0 that can act as both a decent shield and sufficient Hero World hate. You play the other size 2s you play is because first you got Archangel that's got pretty solid. It's pretty solid because he's a free double attacker, size 2. Can't be played in the center. Whoop-de-doo. He could get bigger for every card that goes into his soul. Pretty easy. And the Rahal is a solid size 2. Size 1s. I think the only thing I remember is just Ogre. Armor Knight
Like,
Ogre 8.
I used to run Jet Fighter, but I revamped it with the new stuff, and I just didn't have room. So what I did is I just ran 4 Salamanders, the 6/2/2, and then the 4 Ogre Aces.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty good.
The Salamanders to clear. Yeah, the 6k beater and the 3 crit beater is really good.
And that's your creatures, right? And then spells are you still play that trial deck dross, right? The survival chance.
No, I don't run Survival Chance. The
Really?
Life Break 5 is too heavy.
Hmm.
Yeah. I haven't run any draw power since...
Since Juan Roink slashed you.
No. I haven't run draw power since H-Set 1, actually.
H-set, okay. Well, that's, I guess
Yeah.
before, I guess the impacts were kind of doing its job for acting as additional cards. For getting the shields or something.
Yeah.
Alright. And so spells are just
Spells, you
shield
kind of just...
and reuse.
Shield, then Unite, and then that's your spells.
Like,
And then the new draw card, because
it's good.
it's
It's a
pretty
good-
much unrestricted draw 2. It's a nice one. Like...
Yeah. So is that it for Armor Knights?
I think so. Other than things I would side, which is not very much since I don't usually need to side.
Yeah.
Usually side like a Cerberus.
regular Cerberus for
You
the size
size
3 hate or something.
Yeah, the Cerberus for the size 3 hate, as Modi for those Rush decks and Raging Spirits.
You don't play any zeros, right? Besides Naga.
Other than Naga, nope.
Hmm.
Because Naga's he's still a 2/1/2, so he can still actually hit things, and he has an amazing effect that you don't even you don't discard him or anything. You just counter call him.
Alright. So I guess that's Danger World Armor Knights, right?
Yeah.
The deck's pretty solid. I mean, you can go ace if you want. It seems a bit too slow, I guess, in general. Because I mean,
Well, it
you sit on
depends
Iblis
on.
and then Cradle, and then if you have time to do anything else, then I guess you would. But
Yeah, most of the time when you're playing the aces, you kind of just use the mill impact, hope you mill Iblis, armor reuse the Iblis, try to get as much crap into the soul of Cradle, and then try to link with Penetrate for game every turn.
yeah,
That's kind of just what it comes down to.
I guess that was the worst part of the Ace engine was some of that life break stuff. It was just so slow
Yeah.
that you couldn't even do anything for the longest time until that impact came out.
Yeah, and even when the impact came out, like, you still had to have a weapon, so that made it, like, forced you to run more weapons. So it wasn't really that much of a big deal, but the fact that you had to run more weapons and you had to run the impact,
Yeah.
space.
Alright, so I guess since we're done with Armor Knights, the second part that we had planned to talk about was upcoming Continentals, right? With that where Mr. Justin Gee is going
Don't get
over.
wrecked, scrub.
Yeah, don't get wrecked.
I hope. I
So,
haven't been doing well locally at all. I've been getting less like beat on.
you're on so bad.
Badly too.
So this is
I mean,
actually
at least it's good players.
yeah. So this is actually your second one, right? So you actually kind of know what to expect going into Continentals, right? So why don't you I don't know, let the people who are interested know what to expect when you get there.
Well, when you actually get to Continentals to play in the room, it's like they basically treat it like it's top 8 of like the regular regional. Like you have to be on top of everything. If anything is wrong with any of your list of anything, sleeves, you could basically get DQ'd.
Alright.
All of the starting off, all of the judges are on your back, so it's kind of like you're jumping straight into the fires. Unlike with regionals, it's like, yeah, you may play a few people that don't really know how to play or that are like new to the game, don't know their rulings. But it's like regionals, it's like playing the best players at your shop all at once. So maybe like 12 or more of the best players all together. Pretty nerve-wracking. You really pay for your mistakes there.
Hey, you don't get any easy wins just because these guys already had to muddle their way through to the number one free ride to regionals.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so I guess you've got your plans set, right? What the decks that'll be really annoying to play. I know that I would love to see 100 demon deck. I kind of feel like I won't.
I feel like you won't, just because a lot of the players that play don't play their decks that they played in like the regular regional. They kind of play like the whatever the best decks are in the format. So I expect to see a lot of Hero World, Superhero, maybe a few Kazarian, maybe Raging Spirits, definitely Omni Drum, and definitely Deep because Lavi Lalunde won. So it's like then Austin won with Dungeon. So it's like pretty much those players that are like faithful to their worlds are going to play what they won with, but everybody else is going to like meta play it and just play whatever is the best in the game right now.
And then there's going to be that one guy who pots in a world because it didn't top.
I wonder if anyone is that brave. I mean, they do have the counter destruction hate on the other worlds. It's just so expensive.
Dude, I would not mind if I got wrecked by a Continental player at regionals if he won all out.
That'd be cool though.
Yeah, it would.
People couldn't figure out how to play it until then.
Yep, but nobody's going to play it because everybody that comes here just wants to win.
Yeah. And what's better to win than like a rush deck or an annoying 5th Omni deck?
Yeah. So, I'm just hoping for my sake, like everything isn't just Hero World, because that would be such a boring tournament. Like you
I,
run into like 8 to 10 Hero World decks, and they're like all superhero, and then like 2 Kazarian.
well, I mean, was it going into it? Someone put up I guess a little pictorial, or what do you call it? A table where they just kind of went out through the worlds and it was like how many out of like all the top threes it was like 80% hero.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's 20 some heroes.
it's scary because almost every single one of those winners were superhero players.
And
I think.
I think everyone was maybe just being like avoidant.
Fuck you, Justin.
Everyone was just kind of maybe avoiding Kaiserion just because, everyone said it was going to be good. So I wonder if everyone was just playing superheroes instead just because, let's hate on Kaiserion.
Well,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Either way, though.
Superheroes definitely are the more lethal of the two. Like Kazarion takes a while to get off. Plus, it's the barbed wire hate that you can run into when you go to use the bird's effect. But Kazarion can kill you at 5 life. That's the scary part. And it's whether or not if you have a monster in the center or not. I didn't know that until this week. I checked. It was like that impact is stupid, crazy.
Damn it, Justin, read cards.
Yeah, I hated that. I that's what I checked for the first time I saw it, and I was like, no, yep, I'm screwed. There's no easy way to get around this. They could have it costs like 2 gauge, and they can deal like 5 damage super easy.
Yeah.
I'm screwed.
I'm just glad that they don't have a good way to burn. Like they literally have to overextend to burn with heroes. Well, Takosuke would be meaning.
I mean, so the regular superheroes though is really good. I mean, just final mode all day, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I expect to see a lot of final mode. Probably. Maybe Quartet 5.
Maybe.
I don't.
I like being able to double attack with my weapon.
Yeah, and he pops a weapon. I mean, no, he pops a monster whenever you attack. Well,
Or
with his attack, right?
just when you get his ability right.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hero World matchups can go either way with it because it's like they're really explosive. I think they're more explosive than Dungeon World, but they lack longevity. So it's like literally all you have to do is just take out their monsters and they don't last long.
Yeah, I guess they don't have the same kind of counter destruction hate the dungeon might have, but
Yeah.
the emergency launch and your weapons are really freaking annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we have Death Grip and Blessed Barbed Wire.
Yeah. Final mode, I got it right. Barbed wire.
GG, bro.
All right, guys. I guess I'm gonna wrap up the live stream. I guess a couple minutes early, just because no sense beating the horse right before the Continentals. We'll find out the results when we do the stream. Are we gonna do the stream next week? Because that's like Thanksgiving week, right? Are you guys around?
I think it's the day before Thanksgiving.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll be
I should be available.
We'll figure out whether or not we're gonna do it. But I'll post probably the normal lateness, like Monday or Tuesday, like I normally do. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to say.
To everybody that's going to Continentals, can't wait to see you. And tell me where the parties are.
Just play Armor Knights and you'll win. It's okay.
Sometimes.
You'll also
Alright.
make Justin really mad if you play Armor Knights.
No, the easiest way is to play 5th Omni.
I hate that deck so much. I hate Danger World in its entirety, but I hate Omni Dragon so much.
Alright, guys. Well, until next week, and thanks for watching.